Alrighty, today we are going to be adding fractions with like denominators. And just for a quick review on the different vocabulary that we are going to use, I want us to go over the numerator of a fraction is the top number. So if we had, if we had 3/4, 3 is the numerator. And the denominator is the bottom number. So in this case, the denominator would be 4. Oh, and I just covered these up. An improper fraction is when the numerator is greater than or equal to the denominator. So if we had a fraction that looked like 7/3, that is what an improper fraction looks like. And mixed fractions is a whole number and a fraction. So a mixed fraction would look like, an example of a mixed fraction is 3 1/3. So there's some vocabulary that I want you to have in your notes because we are going to be working with these different fractions in the numerator and the denominator. And today we are going to be adding fractions with like denominators. So adding fractions, when we add fractions, if the denominators are alike, you only need to add the numerator. So for example, if we have 1/4 plus 2/4, all we need to do is add the numerator. So 1 plus 2 is 3, and we keep the denominator the same. So I also want you to add that in your note. Keep the denominator the same. And also I included a visual. If I have 1/4 and I add 2/4 to it, how many do I have? Well, there's 3 parts of the whole, so there's 3/4. Let's do a couple more examples. 1/3 plus 2/3. Well, since the first thing that I need to do is check to see if I've got like denominators. And I do have like denominators. They're both 3s. So all I need to do is add the numerator. 1 plus 2 is 3, and I keep the denominator the same. And 3/3, as you know, is equal to 1 whole. So 1/3 plus 2/3 is equal to 1 whole. Let's look at another example. 2/2 plus 1/2, or 2/2 plus 1/2. Since the first thing that I do, step 1, is check my denominators. I've got 2 2's, that means I can add these fractions. So all I need to do is add the numerator. 2 plus 1 is 3, and keep the denominator the same. And as we know, this is an improper fraction from what we learned earlier. So make sure, first thing that you do, check to see if the denominators are the same. So check D, that's going to stand for denominator. And then 2 is add the numerator, which is n, and keep the denominator the same. Let's do some more practice problems. First thing, check my denominators are the same, and I'm going to be adding them. So I add my numerator. 2 plus 4 is 6, and I keep my denominator the same. That is the key point right here, is if you've got like denominators, they stay the same. 4/2 plus 1/2, so we've got an improper fraction plus 1/2. Well, they both have the same denominator, so I'm going to add my numerators, which are 4 plus 1 is 5, and keep my denominators the same. Alrighty, for homework, I want you guys to work on these two problems. Remember, step 1, check to make sure your denominator is the same. So check denominator. 2, add the numerators. Add numerator. And D stands for denominator, N stands for numerator. And 3, keep the denominator the same. Alrighty, make sure that you have these in your notes, and we are going to check them tomorrow. Have a great night.